Hey there everybody, what's going on? It's Carpo here. I'm making this video somewhat in response to a menthol kratom. He sent me an email earlier. He mentioned something about the bus, that I should give a tour of the bus because I've been making all my videos for this channel in the bus. And I let him know that I have a channel specifically for the bus called Carpo's Schoolie. But I guess he wasn't aware, and I guess a lot of people probably aren't because I've mentioned it a couple times. But it's a channel that's dedicated just to my remodel of this school bus. And for those who aren't aware and those who want to maybe see what's going on, I thought I'd give a quick tour. So I'm going to do my best here with this here phone camera. So here's the door coming in, right? And I put in not pergo, but laminate flooring in here. Driver's seat's full of all kinds of fun little wood projects. I am not finished by any means with this thing, but I'm going to turn the light on so I can get a better look. What I've got going on over here is, as you walk up, I used reclaimed wood for a whole bunch of this. These were old deck boards, and my wife liked the look of it. We actually used them over there on these two sides, right here and here. And as you can see, I ripped them on the table saw, so I just took a little bit off of the, edge to kind of, it left some of it dark and old and some of it new, and then I didn't really sand it or anything. But we'll get to that part. So over here is the sink, and this is what I just finished working on. I installed this 12-volt pump that I bought, and this is just a temporary setup. But I have it running to a hotline to the battery, and it's coming out of here through the pump, and then it's pumping up through the sink. And then the drain is just going into another 7.5 gallon. But I also have it wired up over here to this little backup switch. Now when you flip the switch, this turns it off completely, so it's disconnected, because this pump is reactive, pressure responsive. So when I turn it on, for example, if I turn on the handle, nothing happens. But if I turn on the pump, you can hear it kind of click. And then, boom. And that's got plenty of pressure for my needs. I turn that back off, and then it keeps the line from draining my batteries, because right now I'm running this off of the two 12-volt starter batteries that I have in the bus. And I'm going to get a couple of deep cycle batteries running off of solar so I can power all of the LEDs and everything else. These are a pair of temporary curtains. I sewed them out of my kids' old stuff. It was an old pair of kids' room curtains. Cut those down. So right here you'll notice I took a piece out of this table. It was my wife's idea, and she wanted a curve. This table came with the house when we bought it 15 years ago, and it was out in the shed. So we decided to use it, sand it down, and revarnish it. So this is the piece that was cut out of it, and it's got all the we're just kind of, checking stuff out to see how we like it. But this is a piece I cut out of the sink. Yes, if I'd realized while I was playing around with it that the grain went a different way, I probably would have been that particular and made it a different way, but I didn't. And this is a third shelf, just another wavy shelf. And this is just made out of standard pine shelf material that you get. This isn't attached or anything. This is all still in the process of exploration. And yes, that is a piece of shelf fungus, is what you would call it. You find these out in the woods. It's a polypore. And so on over to the left here, we've got this little area, which we haven't decided what to do with it. Now this is a piece of cutoff that went to this counter, which was this was being used out in my shop as a total junk counter. If you see the bottom, you can see it's still got a, tiger with a rainbow coming out of its ass. All kinds of writing and drawings. I flipped it to the bottom, sanded it down, and used a wipe-on poly. This thing right here goes perfectly in this opening. I made it for this opening. And when it's in, it actually prevents the door from unlocking. And over here, I'm not going to get it out right now, but there's a double fold-out table, which folds out to 6 feet out the door, and this door opens. It was the emergency exit. And then this little unit can go outside, and you can put spices on it or whatever. You can cook on it, cook on the cooktop. And so over to here we have, this is still in the process. I just put this up like 10 minutes ago. My wife painted most of it, and then I'm going to still put trim on the front. It'll look something like this one, but probably not exactly. And very simple type setup. Down below this I have another shelf that I made out of just some old material that I found, along with these. These were one piece that held up a mantle, and I just cut it in half. Down here to the couches, we're still figuring this one out. We've got these little cubby holes down here and everything. I love this material. I just love it. These backs, which were originally going to fold down, are actually removable now, and I just stapled the fabric on the back. And then just put batting and, 2-inch foam in there. I'm still got to hook the power line up, but there will be power behind each one of these seats. For some reason I did it that way because I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out. This is the fridge I bought, Dometic fridge. It's a used one, but these are like $700 new, and I got it for like $65 on Craigslist. So those run on propane. This is the wall I just built about an hour ago. And yes, I used reclaimed wood for all of this. And it's kind of like the armrest to this part of the couch. Now you can see this dark wood. This actually sits down a ½ an inch below the top on both sides. There's a little lip here. Now back here there's this push open door which has magnets on it, and this is the under the bed storage, if you will. And this is actually where the fuel pump is, so I keep that, locked with insulation. Click. And over here, these pull out. And this table pulls out. And it's just maple plywood that's all, polyed up. And this table is designed to fit right there in that opening perfectly, and then the cushions pull down into a bed. Right here we've got another cubby for this side. This is a beautiful piece of, I think it was like Brazilian cherry or Brazilian walnut. It could have been some kind of mahogany. I can't even remember because I had so many exotic woods I was working with. But, and then right here it's just, a piece of scrap, extra wood that from an old bed that we used to climb up into our bed. And our bed has, right now, there's going to be a big unit back there, but it's got a stained varnish shelf on each side. Our bed here, I'm still installing these little surrounds around the window. And then kind of a little storage area over here and over here. This whole shelf is just like one big wraparound shelf that's supposed to be kind of like a wave as well. And for those of you who aren't aware already, yes, these are more polypores, more mushrooms, and I have 5 of them. And every time I go through with lacquer, I just kind of give them a little shine. And so I think I've just about covered it all. I've done a lot of videos about the bus on the other channel already, but I just wanted to put at least one on this channel because it's my love right now. It's what I've been doing, as much as I can, anyhow. And up front, it's just the old, well, there's a lot of work to do. I just got done sanding down that whole thing, and then I've got everything written down over here, and I'm going to redo it and paint it and make it all nice. So that's the captain's seat, and then the person who we bought it from had built this little cabinet up here, which I still have to redo. So that's my bus, and I hope you enjoyed the tour. Talk to you all later.